Video game genres. Lord knows I've dipped my flippers into the murky waters in the past. Well, I'm back today to get even more annoying about it. Move over, roguelike. Farewell, walking simulator. It's time for the only video game genres that matters. The ZK map-like. Okay, this one is gonna need some explaining, stick with me. How can I describe the ZK map-like to you? Well, there are some reference points. Counter-Strike, yes, Counter-Strike is a game where you shoot people in the head. You know what Counter-Strike is. What you also probably know about Counter-Strike is that it has a thriving custom map community. Or at least it did until CS2 came out. If you could dream it, you could do it. There were so many different game modes that came out of Counter-Strike. One of the most popular ones being surfing. Surfing in Counter-Strike is essentially doing something that you're not meant to be doing. Counter-Strike is a shooting game, you're meant to be shooting people. But a group of the community found fun in the game's movement system. You can't jump high, you can't move all that fast, but you actually kind of can do both of those things if you take advantage of certain quirks in the physics engine. Build up speed and prove mastery of an array of community-made and hosted maps. Due to the nature of said maps, aesthetics was often secondary to readability. There was no money to be made here, so each one was full of abstract-looking geometry that was all about getting you through the level. This provides a solid foundation for nailing down what the ZK map-like is and where it came from. Okay, still with me? Getting Over It with Bennet Foddy is a climbing game. It's a game about climbing. It's a game about climbing in the metaphorical sense as well as the mechanical sense. In video games, control schemes are usually there to empower the player. Where Mario goes, yeah, ho-ho, yahoo. That is for fun purposes only. It is not for unfun purposes. Doing it not for fun is a crime. And so Nintendo struck a balance between what would result in the most amount of fun. Doing a yahoo is challenging enough that you don't feel like you're breezing through the game, but easy enough that you can do it with reasonable consistency. And so, Getting Over It with Bennet Foddy lunges towards the other end of the spectrum. Doing anything in that game is extremely challenging, but you do feel rewarded at the end for your efforts. Ultimately, the big appeal of these climbing games is similar to the appeal of actually climbing a mountain, or doing any undertaking. It was difficult, but you did it. Okay, one more. Neon White is a speedrunning platformer. The goal is to get from the beginning to the end of each map, shooting enemies and collecting power-ups along the way. Like with surfing, the form of the environments are secondary to the function, though they do look quite nice in their own way. If you've played Neon White, you know the big deal about it, which is that at the end of each level you're shown a leaderboard with all of your Steam friends so you can compare times with each other and try and beat them. This is a game about rapid iteration, about learning the quirks of a level and then finding the best route through. Each millisecond saved can mean the difference between being a cool guy or these dumbasses. I'm sorry, that's really mean. I'm sorry to all my Steam friends. So, this is how games come about. We have all of these ingredients and we need to put them into a stew, okay? I present to you Frog, Clan Official Server, 24/7 ZK Map for Stranger. Yeah, you can see where the surfing inspiration came into play. ZK Map was born from Glorious Trainwrecks. Like the website, it's called Glorious Trainwrecks, which, as you could likely surmise, is about video games that are, I think the polite term is, not commercial. Every Christmas, they do their own version of Secret Santa, where a stranger can request a game and then a developer has to make it. In this case, the stranger, and by the way, they literally are a stranger, we have no idea who they are, wanted a, quote, anti-climbing game where you start at the top and must climb down. What results is just that. You start at the top and have to navigate fantastical abstract geometry in order to make it to the bottom. ZK Map in particular harkens back to the movement systems of Quake, so there's a lot of strafe jumping and wall bouncing. I'm guessing Quake has wall bouncing. Has anyone actually played Quake who wasn't alive at the time it came out? Okay, I'm sorry, come back. You're not old, okay? You're not old. You're a normal person, a young, normal, healthy person. Anyway, you can play ZK Map right now if you want. It's free. It's pretty fun. I think for some people, this train wreck might be a little too glorious, but that's the point. It's not meant to be a polished game. It's not meant to be the games that you're used to seeing on Steam or even itch.io. Nonetheless, there's something to be found here. Each leap down is a tense negotiation between the movement systems and your health bar. The movement in question is as playful as it is janky, and yes, it's difficult, so yes, I did feel a sense of accomplishment upon reaching the bottom. I think ZK Map is great. I had a lot of fun playing it, especially for a game that stems from the mission statement of Glorious Trainwrecks. There are a few oddities to it. I'm not really sure about the whole food thing, but honestly I'd recommend this game to anyone if you're even the slightest bit curious. Of course, you'd already know all of this if you were cool and hip and plugged in and were subscribed to Chariot Rider on YouTube, because he's also made a video on ZK Map, and it's very good and you should watch it. Since then, a certain group of developers have taken notice. Stuffed Wombat, the creators of Mozzolina and Luna, have brought us Fallstruktur, another free ZK map-like that you can play right now on Steam for free. I already said that, I already said it was free. Why is that written down twice in the script? It's similar to ZK Map, with a slight emphasis on slight, leaning towards the more polished and streamlined. For starters, there are no checkpoints. If you die near the bottom, then too bad. This changes the game quite a bit. That is to say, there's a little less challenge in the minutiae of each jump, but actually getting to the bottom is still a hefty undertaking. There's only one level at the moment, but good news, there's Steam Workshop support, so technically there's infinity levels. Already there's a keen community of mappers making a wide variety of levels. I like this one where you descend from the stars all the way into the bowels of a concrete jungle. The movement is also a little floatier than ZK Map. You don't come to a stop right away. This, in my opinion, is an essential addition to the ZK Map like. It creates moments that can only be described as, have you ever had a dream that you could you want them to do you so much that you could do anything? It's difficult to get there, but once you do get into that flow state as a player, it feels like anything is possible, both good and bad. As you sit at your desk, frantically grappling the WASD and contorting your mouse at impossible angles, you realize that you're in a dream, and you're playing a video game, and this is incredible. I might be off the mark, but I think there's something here. Well, of course, even Fallstruktur is not as polished as a lot of other games on the market, and yes, the community that has birthed this genre is staunchly anti-commercial. I can't help but wonder what might be. It's been roughly 7 years since the release of the original ZK Map. It's a game where its semi-notability has been a recent phenomenon, and releases like Fallstruktur, while small in scale, prod at a potential that a savvy developer could easily take advantage of. You'll notice that Neon White is perhaps not as influential on the ZK Map like as the other two mentioned games, probably because it came out after actually, now that I think about it, but I feel like it could be. Already there are speedruns for Fallstruktur online, and I have a curiosity about finding the most optimal route to the bottom. Food for thought for any developers out there. For now though, make sure you check out Fallstruktur and any other ZK Map game you can get your hands on, and keep an eye on the horizon. Hello, thank you for watching, and yes, you're probably wondering, is it ZK Map or ZK Map? Why did I pronounce it the American way, ZK Map, the entire video? And it's a good question. And I don't know the answer, okay? I'm sorry about that. If anybody is sad about that, I apologize. Anyway, if you're unaware, this video is part of Silksong Month, where I'm trying to play and show off recently-ish, August it counts, released games to sort of counteract the Silksong sphere of influence. So next week I'll be making a video on another video game. I don't know what that video game is yet. I need to decide. It's going to be a very busy month for me. So yeah, stay tuned if that sounds cool, okay? Anyway, I'm out. Goodbye.